Today we are in the beautiful city of Vancouver, British Columbia, checking out LTX 2023. This is a technology convention set up by Linus Tech Tips. If you're not familiar with those guys, I will link in the description below so you guys can check it out. But we're actually here to check out some really cool VR setups that they have here. We're going to ask some tough questions as well as some humorous questions to see where these people think VR is going in the future. Stay tuned. We are at the HTC Vive booth right now, and we are talking to Brandon. We're talking about their new headset. It's the Vive XR Elite, correct, isn't it? Yeah. Right. So can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, so we announced this headset at CES. We've been doing pre-orders since April. We started shipping about 3 months ago. This headset's our new standalone headset, so all the processing power is in this headset, or in the front of the headset here. We have a detachable battery that can go on the back. So essentially these stems can come off with a modular design. You can have a battery cradle to help evenly distribute the weight of the headset. So that way you're not front heavy on here. And that makes it so like if your headset or your battery dies, you can just swap your battery out. You don't have to lose any playtime. Most other headsets that are on the market that are standalone, the battery's in the front, battery dies, your headset dies, you gotta wait for that thing to charge back up. Right. That sucks. Like you wanna just be seamlessly going back into VR or XR content.
So you guys do have the head strap that kind of comes around the head as well too, right?
Yeah, so when you detach these, in the box it comes with a little strap that goes here and here, and it's just a slight little strap that it kind of helps with, distributing the weight. Yeah, balancing.
So I've heard some people talking about how it sits really hard on your nose. Will that strap help with that?
Yeah, definitely.
This is a new technology. It also has the lenses inside. They're meant for people to be able to switch them so that they can see a little bit better. Can you tell me a little more about that?
Yeah, so when a headset before that we released a couple years ago called the Flow, it's a small form factor headset. We actually introduced the adjustable diopters, which helps with different people's eye comfort levels. So basically in each eye, you can adjust up to a 6. And obviously everyone's different, so maybe someone's eye will be like a 3 and then the other one will be a 4. Doesn't account for astigmatisms, so that's one thing to keep in mind. There's also the adjustable IPD distance because everyone's eye distance is different.
Right.
And you see this small little USB-C port here. This will be used for face and eye tracking accessories that'll be coming out later this year as well.
Oh, okay. So is there exclusive games that come out with these headsets when you guys actually bring them out?
Yeah, for sure. We had 5 launch titles that came out. Green Hell VR was one of them. Les Mills Body Combat, which was a workout game, which I've been using and I've had like a blast. Like
I got to start using that as well.
It's so much fun. Yeah. Like you forget that you're here, like wherever you are. It takes about 5-10 minutes, and you sweat, and you actually have like the impact punching. So like when you're punching, you punch really hard because the harder you punch, the more of the impact is in VR.
Oh, really?
But when you're doing like at the gym and you're just like airboxing, it's not the same.
So it would be different than like VR or whatever the heck they call it. It's there's actual impact you can feel, like
you don't feel it, but like when you're punching like different like targets, the explosion will get bigger as harder you punch them. Oh, so okay. It incentivizes you to like work and punch a little bit harder so that you get a higher score.
Right. Is that exclusive for the Vive headset?
It's on Viveport, which is our online platform for games. It's also available for some other headsets too. So it's on Quest and I believe some other headsets as well.
Do you have dates for that coming out, or?
We don't have any confirmed release dates yet. We just tell people to stay tuned and watch out on our socials. Can't really reveal too much information right now. We are doing demos of the new self-tracking tracker, which we can get you in here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Have you try that out? It's a soccer experience.
What's it called?
Rezo Player.
Rezo Player. I think I've actually played that before. I did a review on it.
Oh, you did? Okay,
yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So we've been working with them. They've been developing for our trackers. This right here.
Oh, okay.
So this is the first and only self-tracking tracker. So essentially, it uses 2 high FOV cameras, and it shares the same tracking map as the headset. And you can place this on your feet, on your waist, different points of tracking.
Right. So did they come with straps that you actually place that on?
So those would be an added accessory.
So where do you see VR coming in terms of entertainment and tools for education?
Well, I've already seen it because we've been working in education spaces for many years now.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
We work with a lot of training, education, medical, different government entities. So like enterprise is a huge focus of ours, and one of the stats that I like to throw out is that your retention rate in VR is 78% higher than as opposed to like a traditional classroom setting.
Oh, wow, that's
so you're
interesting.
learning a lot more than you would be as if I like had a presentation in a room. You know, virtual calling as well is another aspect that it really helps with, because you know everyone works from home now, or a lot of people do. I don't really have that luxury. I go into the office, but then the office is really empty, and I'm like, I'd like to see some people, but having them on a screen, it just doesn't do it as much. But having them in a virtual environment, you have that surreal feeling like people are actually there, and you can walk around with them and do different things. So but education is huge. I mean, we work with a lot of universities. We have different headsets that tailor different needs. Like our Focus 3 headset it's actually being used over in that section for a VR arena.
Right.
It's a location-based entertainment experience.
Yeah, we're gonna go over there and check that out.
Awesome. I definitely recommend it. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, the enterprise space is huge, and I think that if more companies adopt like XR devices into their work, then the general public will see a lot more advancements a lot quicker than just having these devices for the general public.
Right. Well, thanks, Brandon. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah. It was a pleasure.
We're looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with next as well, too. We're here with Owen Jones from VR Esports, and can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing here in this booth?
Sure. I'm here with HTC. This is Phenomena. This is our experience right here that you're seeing behind you. Right now you're seeing 4 players running in free roam virtual reality on our platform with our latest game called Versus, which is a laser tag game. Okay. What we do is we sell our platform to family entertainment centers, arcades, amusement parks, theme parks. That's who our customers are. They want to start an arcade, they want to do virtual reality. We're going to help them out. We'll set them up with the best in free roam technology. Yeah.
So is there a lot of haptics that you guys put into this, or do you guys put, like in terms of like vests and stuff like that, can you use those?
Yeah, so of course you can use B haptics and on all of those haptic vests, but I always say the same thing to our customers, more technology means more problems. So we really like, if you look over here, all it is one computer, the headset's one router. That's it. That's all you need to power this. That's it.
So you can set that all up in a fairly quick time if you're going into like an arcade or something, that somebody that wants to set that up? Or?
Oh yeah, in like less than an hour, it's just all set up.
Oh really? Okay. Yeah. So I got a couple of questions here for you. Some of the questions most people ask me is about VR sickness. That's a big thing in VR. So how are you guys overcoming that when you're doing something like this?
So the biggest problem with virtual reality, the early virtual reality, was it tried to trick the brain, right? So either using transport mode to transport from one place to another, or these other kind of like experiences that really were not natural for us as human beings. For us as human beings, I'm sitting here with you, we're talking, right? If I move here, if I go there, that's natural, right? And we use natural free roam virtual reality, so there's no tricking of the brain, and that's the reason why nobody gets motion sickness on their experiences ever. Never.
That's why they tend to have VR sickness when they play like the home versions of the VR systems, or?
Well, it's a combination of a few things. First of all, bad developers, early technology.
You mean by developers, you're talking about the games or the actual headsets?
It's a mixture of. It could be a mixture of both, right? So if a bad developer, didn't do the right frame rates, there's latency inside of the game, started using some things like transport along with bad latency. Yeah, a person's going to feel sick, like right away. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, right on. Thank you very much. And we're here with Isaac. Now, Isaac is from Tennessee. He's come all the way to Vancouver to check out LTX. Have you had any chance to play any of the VR games here?
Yeah, absolutely. So over on the other side of the convention here, we've got the VR like RC car racing.
Right.
That one's been super cool.
Yep.
It was a little disorienting at first just because the perspective shift. You can watch yourself at the wheel while you're driving up on that corner of the track.
Right.
I tried out there's just a kind of more traditional VR experience with the new Vive headset, the Vive, what is it, Elite XL or something like that?
Right. So what experience did you get to check out in that?
The one I was at had the foot tracking, so I think it was called Rizzo, something like that. It was a soccer kind of game, and so it had you could angle your foot to get different kicks and stuff like that. I kind of played around with it while I was in the sim, and not just trying to hit the goals, but just seeing how the physics handled by foot moving. It was pretty interesting being able to angle, because it maps your foot onto a shoe, and then when you're in the game, you can use that to hit the different shots. So it's not just a point contact, but it has a little bit of a vector to it.
Right.
It was interesting. It was cool. And the applications for other kind of VR games would be really neat.
So do you have a VR headset at home?
I do, kind of an older one. It's the Rift S. So it's getting a little up there in years. I mean, you say that, VR's moving too quickly to really to call anything old or new, but it's a good headset. I like it. I play a lot of games.
Right on. So which are your favorite games for the Rift S?
I like Beat Saber a lot just because it gets me up and moving, and I like interactive music. That's kind of been my jam, pretty much any console, any kind of thing. And then, of course, Super Hot. Everybody likes Super Hot. It's one of the best-selling games. Sword and Sorcery, that kind of thing, fun stuff.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people have issues with Skyrim VR, motion sickness, but I tend to enjoy it. I like the immersive, just the immersion.
Have you tried their mods out? Have you checked out the mods or?
My laptop at home is rocking a 1070, and it's a gaming laptop. I can do mods if I'm not doing VR, but VR and mods, that's asking a bit much from some older hardware.
If you could invite an historical figure from the past, who would that be in terms of like VR?
I'd probably have to go with Nikola Tesla. He's sort of the father of modern like electricity. Kind of him and Edison were duking it out back in the days. But I think just with his mind, how he applied his knowledge of he could conceptualize stuff that people at the time really had struggles with. I think if he saw VR, he could use it to its utmost potential, being able to take ideas in his head and not just get them on paper and prototype them, but he could load up some of I know there's VR like modeling software, things like that. I can't even begin to imagine what he would use it for.
Okay, right on. Thanks, Isaac. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
All right, now we got a question for you guys. In the vast landscape of VR gems out there, which game do you think needs more attention? Let me know in the comments down below there. Also, make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button while you're down there. Thanks very much for checking out our look at the LTX here, 2023 LTX. We'll see you next time on the VR Silo.